guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. This channel is basically gonna be centered on issues regarding international students. How can we make your stay here hassle-free? Whether you're a minority or you just need help in college or outside college, you are living in the United States, that's basically what it's gonna be. And if you guys have any other suggestions, just as we're talking, do feel free to leave a comment down below. And today I'm actually here with three amazing ladies. Can you guys introduce yourselves?
Okay, should I start? Great.
Yeah.
My name is Becky. What else do you need to know?
Just anything.
Okay, great. My name is Becky. I am originally Kenyan, so born of Kenyan parents. Studied at UC Berkeley, Cal, in California, United States, and yeah.
Hi everybody, my name is Ade Tutu. Sorry about that. I'm from Nigeria. I'm a senior here at UC Berkeley studying public health. I'm also a MasterCard Foundation scholar, and it's pretty much my last year at Berkeley, and I'm very excited to see where the future goes.
Yeah, we're really excited for you too. I'm Josephine, and obviously I did go to UC, well not obviously, but yeah, I did go to UC Berkeley like the rest of them here. I studied international relations, pretty exciting major at Berkeley. If you ever come here, choose the major, it's the best.
Okay, hi everyone.
Yeah.
My name is Iyolua, and I'm Nigerian, Yoruba. I mean, you can tell that from my name. I don't know why I said that. Let's see. Oh, I am also from UC Berkeley, and I studied integrated biology.
Oh, awesome. Great. So I do have, the first question I have is actually in two parts. So it's, what's been the hardest thing about, well, some of us here are not really international students. Like I was born here, but I still grew up in Nigeria, and she had lived here for a bit, but they're pretty much international students. But we all, had some sort of like culture shock, or it was kind of new to us in, some sense. My first question is, what was the hardest thing about moving to the US for you guys? It's two parts, and also what was the best part about moving to the US? And I can just start because I know you guys are really shy. But
Oh, I'm not.
but yeah, for me, I think the hardest part was obviously like leaving my family. I didn't move here with my parents, or I didn't really have, well, I do have family here, but I didn't really even get to meet them. I moved here and I stayed with the guardian, who I didn't really know prior. So that was the hardest thing. And the easiest thing for me is I feel in general I do have a diverse experience. Even before coming to live here, I had traveled to different places and I could speak other languages, so that really helped with my transition. Who's gonna go next?
I'll go next. Great. So my best is the best and the hardest part.
Yeah.
Right? So I guess my best part was sorry. Wait. Hold up. Okay. No, it was right here. Okay. My best part. Yes, it was moving, into independency. So, I grew up a sheltered kid, so I grew up with my parents, I'm the only sibling, so I was really sheltered and really protected. So literally coming out of that bubble of, hey, I'm actually independent now, I have my place, even though I had a scholarship, but I managed my own bills, had my own apartment in France. So that was really the independency. It was so great for me. It was like thousands of miles away from my parents. The hardest part, can I just give two hardest part?
Feel free.
Okay, so that's the thing. I guess it was okay. Leaving friends behind is one thing. I literally grew up with best friends and friends from high school, kindergarten. So leaving friends behind and neighbors and all that. And the second hardest part was navigating the whole issue of race, because back home we did have the whole race issue. It was more about colorism and stuff. So, but then I was like, my family was like, oh, you're going there, you'll be, interacting with, white people, black people, da 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 da. So I was like, okay, my God, this sounds so complicated. So that was like my hardest part, having to get into the culture of race.
Oh, that's quite interesting, actually.
So we're doing two, the best part and also the hardest part.
Yeah.
Well, for me, I've always been an independent person. I am the first child of 4 children, and I went to boarding school for like 3 years prior to coming to the US. And I knew I wanted to pursue an education here, So I pretty much set my eyes on the prize and worked towards that. It wasn't the easiest thing. It was all very new to me. I did not think it would work out. But here I am now, and I'm very grateful that it all worked out. And I can say that I was able to receive a valuable education. So coming here, I think that my access to a wider and more resourceful educational system was definitely on the top of my list of good things. So just coming here, having access to resources, both in and outside of school, and being part of this community of Africans that the MasterCard Foundation Scholars Program has brought to me was very, very, very important, and also a crucial part of my growth here. And I think the hardest part right now is definitely not having an everyday connection with family. I am I try to communicate as much as possible with my family, and sometimes that's hard. But I always, I think one of the hardest parts of being here is the fact that you don't get to talk to your parents every time, and I kind of feel like my relationship with my siblings hasn't really flourished ever since coming here. So I'm very, very much looking forward to the future and having to experience life with them, because coming here hasn't really allowed me to do that. Yeah, so definitely the people from back home, we need them here. I don't know. I wish my parents lived here, but yeah, that's a story for another day.
Okay, so how about you, Edie?
Okay, so best part and worst part. Let's see. I moved here in high school. So I came from Nigeria, like fresh. And then I came here I came junior year into high school. So coming from Nigeria, I mean, everyone's watched High School Musical and like all of that, and like, the happiness and all of that. But then I also knew like bullies and all of that existed, but I wasn't really sure how everything would go down. So I'm like, okay, let's see how America's gonna be. So worst part was getting in, and there were only 2 black girls in the whole high school.
Wow.
And I was like,
Wow.
okay. This is definitely a culture shock, because I'm like, okay, I'm coming from a place where everyone, kind of looks like me, but I mean like in skin color. And then now I'm like that black girl, like, oh, have you seen that, like, I'm like there's only 2. So it was different, like, I guess adjusting to that, like, and I was seeing a lot of new faces. So I guess it was hard adjusting, because I was just like, I didn't know anyone here. So I had to make new friends, and like high school is, everyone already has their clique, so I'm like, okay, where do I fit in all of this? And so that was the worst part, but then the best part was actually finding my own self. So finding people that I could talk to, communicate with. I think my friend group was like a girl from China, a girl from Thailand, and like there was just like different people from all over the world, and we're just like all meeting together and talking. And I guess that was my best part, just having all of that like diversity, and just, I guess, finding myself and enjoying it too.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I just remembered, not realized, both of you are actually MasterCard scholars. Does one of you mind like just talking about it in like 2 minutes, like what that entailed and how that has sort of helped you, and if there's anyone out there that is looking to get some form of scholarship, how they can actually apply, and
Yeah, but definitely. So MasterCard Foundation, I know you might think of Visa, MasterCard, debit cards. No. So it is a foundation, formed by the MasterCard people. Yeah, I know it's crazy. like, wait, Mastercard, they fund? Yeah. So yeah, it's fun. It's part of the money from the from the Mastercard itself, the debit cards, people. But then it's a scholarship specifically for African students and Caribbean these days. But then African students to universities abroad and some on the continent in Africa. Like the top universities. So we have. They also partner with high school, I believe. But then it's mostly unis. So masters, undergraduate. That's bachelors. So bachelors, masters, no PhD yet. So we have schools in the US, partner schools in the US, in Canada, in Europe, I guess like 2 of them, and in France they just have a new one, and in South Africa, Ghana, I believe Uganda as well. And so basically for the undergrads, so I was the second cohort of the Mastercard students in UC Berkeley, and so basically, yeah, it was so amazing. And so they funded my everything from the flight here to I think 1 flight back home, once in your 4 years. They gave me stipends, it's a good amount of stipend, to get you through. Monthly stipend, they covered everything, tuition and everything, and my health costs as well. So that was pretty awesome. Then they tried to, have a little community of just us, interacting and just talking to other Africans. So I think that it's a good thing. And if you're seeking to apply, I know at UC Berkeley, the Mastercard Foundation is coming to an end. And so, but then other schools are popping up. So look into schools in Canada, University of Toronto and the likes. Look into schools in Europe and other places. I know the US programs are sort of coming to an end. But then apart from Mastercard, there are other organizations that fund, African students. So all those resources is there online.
Yeah, so what I can do is actually post a link under this about like the Mastercard like scholarship program, or I could just have Becky, post something.
Can I also say something?
Yeah, 1 minute though.
Yeah, it's 1 minute.
I mean, still have like 10 more questions you have to answer, but go ahead.
Yeah, so the Mastercard Foundation Scholars Program is actually dedicating efforts towards creating schools back home. Funding students who are pursuing university education back home, but in African universities. So there's an increased effort towards getting students back home educated, but like on the continent.
But what's the goal though? I've heard like
Education
the goal is
is
to
the
go
goal.
back to Africa and sort of like give back.
Exactly.
Give back.
So to build the next generation of African leaders, both here abroad and also on the continent.
I do want to know though, I'm just curious, like is there any obligation to sort of go back and give back, or can you sort of like just...
There is an obligation in your visa. It states that because you are not going to apply.
Oh, you signed something?
You do not apply for a. For me, I did not apply. I had to apply for a J1 visa, which is an exchange visitor visa, which is not even a student visa. So there's a 2-year home residence requirement with that visa, and I would have to go home at some point to fulfill that requirement, and also just like.
But I think that's good though, because
yes, exactly. It's not even about I would have to go home.
Entrepreneurial and all
Yeah.
that.
I am very excited to go home, to be on the continent. There's a lot of exciting things going on there.
Yeah.